Hey everyone, welcome back to Pokémon Insurgence. I hope everybody's been staying happy, healthy, and safe. It has been a really long time, and I've missed all of you. It's been months. Well, over half a year. But I'm finally ready to get back to this playthrough. And we're actually going to be finishing it, but before I continue, I want to go over some non-Insurgence related things. I didn't mean to go in there yet. So apparently Rejuvenation version 13 has been released, and I've actually played through it. I've played through version 13 once as a full playthrough, and then I played through it again on my old save through. And it was fantastic. I'll probably make a video talking about that, and I'll eventually go over things for that. As for Insurgence right here, I still actually have a handful of things to cover, and I've actually covered quite a bit while I haven't been playing. Like, for instance, you can look through my Pokedex right here. It's almost done, but we do have a little bit more to go over. I really hope everybody's been alright while I've been gone, and hopefully this makes up for lost time. I may or may not talk about how things were when I was gone. I'll leave that up to you, depending on if you're curious or not. But outside of that, I'm going to pick back up on where we left off. So in between episodes, I actually went around and I caught a lot of the normal Pokemon that you wouldn't have caught as event Pokemon. So non-deltas, non-legendaries, things like that. And I'll have a video up on how to do that somewhat efficiently. Eventually, at some point. But besides that, we're currently here in the Battle Frontier. I sort of wanted this to be its own section, but unfortunately you do have to do a little bit of the Battle Frontier in order to get a certain Delta Pokemon. I'm only going to cover what I have to cover in this section, and I'll likely come back and make more videos on the Battle Frontier itself. For instance, the Challenge Championship, which we're going to be doing one round of today. Here in the Battle Frontier, we actually want to be taking on the Tube Challenge, which is all the way over here. Unfortunately, you need a Tube Challenge pass, and if you come in here and you talk to him without the pass, he will tell you that he cannot let you pass and that a tube permit is required, and he'll also tell you that you can get one from the Challenge Championship on your first victory. So the Challenge Championship over here is basically, it's sort of a tournament. The easiest way I could think to describe it is think about the Pokemon World Tournament from Pokemon Black 2 and White 2. It has a bunch of gym leaders and I think even Elite Four members, maybe? I don't actually remember. From all the different previous games, and you're all put into tournament brackets with them, and you have to win your way through. And now I'm going to show off the Pokemon that I have for this part. It's actually been a long time since I've had to go through different setups like this. You'll notice everything is level 120. You may actually notice that this is a very specific Durant. This is the Durant I used at the start of the game. It has a really bad nature, but I went ahead, I got its hidden ability using Dream Mist. I got most of its IVs changed except for the special attack because that doesn't really matter. It's been EV trained, and it has the Truant setup. If you've played through things like the Battle Tree in Generation 7 or the Battle Mason in Generation 6, you probably recognize this setup right here. It's the Truant Entrainment setup. And your goal with this setup is pretty much to send in a Choice Scarfed Durant with Truant and Entrainment, and you use Entrainment to give Truant to the opposing Pokemon. After you give the opposing Pokemon Durant and Truant, you use something like this that has a setup move and Protect. So this is actually the Delta Arcanine right here. It also has its hidden ability Multiscale, which is pretty good. But the main things about this setup is the Protect and the Swords Dance. So what you would do is you would Protect on the turns that the first Pokemon isn't loafing around, and then you would set up with Swords Dance on the turns that it is until you're basically set up to max, and then you can sweep with whatever you have right here. So I have Extreme Speed and Earthquake right here for maximum coverage, at least for 2 move slots. And then finally, we have this thing. I absolutely love how broken this Pokemon is. So we have the Delta Blaziken here. Again, this was evolved off screen, and I used a bunch of Ivy Stones. I didn't actually breed it for good nature, but it is EV trained. It does have the right IVs. We also have its hidden ability, Gale Wings. For those that may or may not have played competitive during Generation 6, Gale Wings was absolutely insane. The Talonflame bird spam was just crazy, and Talonflame wasn't even very good. I'm sure nobody actually remembers this, but Talonflame's attack is around base 80-ish. It's just that being able to go first is so incredibly good. And meanwhile, you have Blaziken, who has base 120 attack for Blaziken, which is, again, absolutely insane, especially when you give it Stab Brave Bird. So other parts of the setup are Earthquake and Fire Punch for coverage, and you have Defog in case you might want to use your Delta Arcanine, but there's hazards on the field. Sometimes that happens. It's really unfortunate, but you never know when that could come in handy because you could keep Delta Arcanine's multi-scale, and that could potentially help you sweep. Again, I absolutely love this thing. It's just so broken. And again, I didn't change the nature of the one I got. I just used the one I got from the event. So hopefully this will do. Anyways, we're going to go ahead and start with our 1 round of the Challenge Championship right here to get our 2 pass. So I already explained what it was. It's basically Pokemon World Tournament 2.0. We do have to save our game right here. They're going to send us in. Oh, I should probably narrate this. It's a place where all the strongest gather to compete. Please choose the Pokemon you would like to participate. Again, we only have to pick 3, and we only have 3. I'll probably just go ahead and use the scum setup that I have right here. Today we have 8 very eager contestants waiting to compete for the title of champion. Let us turn our attention to the scoreboard to see who will be competing today. This is completely random, so it could be basically anybody for you. But the important thing is that as long as you have the scum set up, you should be pretty good. So we actually have quite a few Elite Four members in here. You have Drake, Wake, Lucian, Brock, Aaron, Lieutenant Surge, and Kieran. So I'm going to go ahead and show off this setup right here. And they also have the music, which is pretty good. If I wanted to, I could also go ahead and just Ironhead this, and I might actually do that. Oh, that might have been a mistake. It doesn't really matter, because I do have Blaziken. If I use the scum setup, I can't really show off Blaziken like I want to, so I'll just go ahead and spam a little bit of Brave Bird. This thing's going to Mega Evolve, and that doesn't even matter. Choice Banded Gale Wings Brave Bird Delta Blaziken is just that insane. So I'll see if I can get a battle right here where I actually have to show off the Scum Durant setup. Maybe Wake will let me use it? Yeah, this is fine. So I'll go ahead and use Entrainment. So the problem with Entrainment is you have to switch out once you use it, which is why you also want your Durant to have usable moves in case you have to send it back in at some point. It hopefully shouldn't get to that point though. So right there, Empoleon was loafing around. We use Protect this turn. Then we Sword Stance up. Protect. Sword Stance. And I think you get the idea at this point. So one more Surge Stance, and we're at max. I'm just going to protect so I can take out that substitute safely. So I'm going to go ahead and play this as safe as I can. Go ahead and use Extreme Speed. You really want to be using Extreme Speed whenever you can. And that should be... we should be pretty much done right here. Alright, there we go. So that is 2 battles of the Challenge Championship down. Again, if you use this setup, it's very, very difficult to lose. I'm going to go ahead and cut out the last battle because I've kind of shown both functions of the team. Alright, hopefully nobody minded that cut. That would have just taken a little bit of extra time. After we win, we'll be taken out here. We'll be told congratulations for winning. We'll be given the novice rank. And for winning our first Challenge Championship, we will get our Tube Pass right here. So this will allow us to take on the Tube Challenge, which I already showcased on the left. Also, if you continue to battle here, you'll have winnings like Ivy Stones, Dream Mist, and Heart Scales, things like that. Realistically, if you want more Ivy Stones, Heart Scales, and things like that, it's probably better to earn them here than anywhere else. And thankfully, I didn't really mention this, but you should have around 20 Ivy Stones, and I think there's a couple of easy Dream Mist that you can grab. I know I had 3 in my bag, and I also had the 20. I believe there's about 5 random Ivy Stones that are scattered about, and then there is the Snowball Quest Finale, which gives you about 15, which means if you use all those, you can easily set up this team that I have right here, which needs to be healed, actually. But again, you should be able to set up this team pretty easily with what you have, assuming you've been doing the mini quest around the game. And this is all you really need to start farming those easy Ivy Stones, Dream Mist, and Heart Scales and whatnot. It's not exactly quick, but it is consistent. So anyways, on to the Tube Challenge over here. The Tube Challenge itself is actually a very, very simple challenge. Once you go in, you're going to have to deal with 12 trainers back to back to back, and they each have a team of 6 Pokemon that are all level 115. So this means that if you level up your Pokemon to level 120, you have a slight advantage. Also, you can actually leave the arena and heal up in between battles, which is very, very nice. So it's not that much of a challenge. So I'll go ahead and say yes. He'll check our tube permit, and then he'll tell us good luck, and now we can kind of just rock climb up here and enter. So this can be completed at your own pace. It is kind of slow no matter how you deal with it, because it's still 12 battles filled with 6 Pokemon each, but we'll try to get through it. Alright, so I'm back. I went ahead and I took care of all 12 of the trainers. It was incredibly slow with the setup, but again, like I said, it's incredibly consistent. It's very, very hard to actually lose. And once you take care of all the trainers in here, the Arena Master isn't actually anything special. You could do a safety save right here just to be careful, but the Arena Master right here is basically a Delta Golurk. It's only 1 Delta Pokemon, it's at level 120, and it's actually not that difficult to deal with. So I don't really care what happens to Durant right here. Usually this thing has a habit of going on in... Can you not flinch? Thank you. It usually has a habit of post-combating everything, so if you have the Blaziken, then after a couple of stat drops, you can just go in there in Brave Bird and take this thing out. Durant basically almost took this thing out on its own, so it's not really that big of a deal. The Delta Golurk is not as annoying as all of the trainers in here. And after you defeat it... Oh, look at that. A little Delta Golett will actually come out. So this should be a very, very easy catch. I'll just go over to my balls and I'll grab a Delta Ball right here. And there we go. That is the Delta Golett, and if you've been following along with this playthrough, that should be the last Delta Pokemon that you actually have to catch. You might still have to evolve some. Here's the entry. A Delta species discovered by Runeblade. It battles in arenas every day, honing its skills in the hopes that it will one day become a champion. It's fighting Steel, which is a pretty cool combination actually. I don't think it's actually that good though. If I recall correctly, one of the better things you can actually do with it is probably give it Iron Fist for an ability and give it Mach Punch and Bullet Punch, use Bulk Up, and just spam those 2 priority moves, which actually hit decently hard. I mean, Golurk, when it evolves into a Golurk, it has a pretty good attack, but overall I don't think it's that impressive. But this is basically the tube challenge. It's not that big of a deal, and as soon as you actually finish it, you kind of get kicked out, which is a little bit weird. You can still go back in there, but you can't actually do anything here. Once you finish it, you're basically done. And that's pretty much going to be it for this video. I realize that probably seems a little bit weird to have something this short, but on the next video, I'm going to be taking on the challenge that is Dev Island, and that's going to be a pretty long video. Also, I haven't recorded in a long time, and my throat's actually already starting to protest. I haven't spoken for this long in a very, very long time. Before we go though, I just want to say that I am very, very grateful for all the support everyone has given me for the time that I've been gone. I think it's been about 8 months. It feels really weird to just not say thank you. I don't want to make a big deal out of it, but I do want to say thank you, because that's kind of the right thing to do. A lot of people left very, very supportive comments and very thoughtful comments, and I really appreciate it. I want everybody to know that I do appreciate it. So thank you all, and I will most definitely catch you all on the next one. Peace.